Are you going to sign a big deal and you're currently working on a contract? Well, this video will show you the most popular traps to avoid when you sign the contracts, when you make them, especially if you're working in a high-risk business like adult content, for example. Important disclaimer, this video is not a legal advice. Don't forget to talk about the contract with your attorney. And this is a perspective from a business coach who spent over $100,000 in total on the lawyers and consultants for the contract creation during my career. And this video will just help you not to get fucked because of the contract that you have. Important when you read a contract and that was sent you by your business contractor, partner, supplier, whoever, that in most cases they don't have an initial plan to fuck you. Those dangerous ideas usually has been brought by their lawyers. So your real opponent is not the second party of the contract, but usually their law team, because that's what the job of the law team is, to make sure you're not getting fucked and to make sure that when something is happening, another side of the contract will deal with the consequences. Talking about the risks regarding how the contract has been formed and framed, we need to start with the contract jurisdiction. And something important to keep in mind that even we have an opportunity to define the jurisdiction where potential conflicts should be solved. For example, if you have a company in Panama or Hong Kong, you put that, all right, this contract jurisdiction is Hong Kong or Panama, and any disputes should be resolved there. You can even choose a specific arbitrage court. It's a good thing to mention in your contract where you want to resolve any conflicts in which jurisdiction. However, please keep in mind that if the second party, for example, comes from some European Union countries, and then in most cases they will also be able to actually go to a local court and have a case there. Of course, it will be hard to execute whatever decision it will be if you are not located in the same jurisdictions. So definitely, if you want to be on the safe side with your business contracts, then you need to make sure that your company jurisdiction is not in the same jurisdiction as the second party, and your jurisdictions is more friendly towards the business resolutions in your favor, and at the same time you are not living in these jurisdictions where your company is formed. That way, whatever happens, it will not affect your personal life, funds, and comfort. And now, let's talk about specific adult content example where whatever you will write in the contract, if you have a creator, then this creator will have always the last say in the court, especially in the jurisdictions like European Union. So let's say you have an OnlyFans agency and you have creators who for some reasons brought you in the court. Be ready that the court will always take their side. Act based on this information to make the best outcome for you. Let's go to the next one. Important topic about business contracts. We need to remove everything that can used as a leverage against you in conflict resolution, especially if you have creators in a high regulated jurisdictions like European Union. If you have an extremely low percentage for a creator and you have a revenue split in the contract, then if something goes wrong and creator will want to go against you, they will be able to use a card of exploitation. And in the worst case scenario, it can even lead to a criminal case of human trafficking, even you haven't done anything like that. And you will be surprised how many things can actually lead to criminal cases, even you thought there is nothing wrong that you've been doing. Before I go to the next topics of the business contracts to take care of, extremely important with the business contracts is to just make business with your partners, with your suppliers, with anyone with whom you have a contract in a way that will not cause conflict resolution in a court. It is always expensive for both sides. In most cases, money and time waste completely. Even if your lawyer tells you, yeah, there is 100% that we will win, don't believe to your lawyers, never, because actual goal of them is to make you go to court, even if you don't need to go to court, because they receive the highest payment per hour during the court time, and it usually means hundreds of hours of paperwork that they will charge you. Now let's go to the next topic. In the business contracts, it's important to define clean payment structure. It should be as simple as possible without any ambiguity to have other interpretations. Should be understood even by a 5-year-old kid. And in the business coaching with my clients, I also help to get the best deals and sign the best contracts so that you will win in the business without putting yourself at risk. And talking about risks, check out the video where I share how to avoid your bank account compliance freeze, all right? I will leave the link in the description down below. Now let's talk about important topic of the business contracts is to make sure you mention as many situations as possible on what can go wrong and that you are not responsible for those things. Like if you have a marketing agency, that you are not responsible for Instagram bans, and that Meta policy updates are outside of your control, and that you will not be held responsible for anything related to those changes, including the damage to another party of the contract that has been made by those changes. And finally, I want to mention probably the most important thing about business contracts. If you are not just a business owner, but also a director or a CEO of your company, then you are at higher risk. The main recommendation, don't be a CEO of your company. And the second recommendation, in case you are the CEO right now, don't sign any bullshit contracts. And we can discuss your next big deals in our coaching call. And since you finished the video, click the like, subscribe, and stay profitable. See you in the next coaching session.